Everybody, welcome to Psychic Nerds 50. Wow, we got here 50. This is our 50th show. Um, Surrounded by all my friends. This is kind of a celebration for us, and I think this will be right, Sam, our first inaugural video, possibly up on the brand new Patreon for Psychic Nerds.
Yeah, I'm uploading on both the Samantha Jane James Patreon, where Psychic Nerds has been residing, and we're going to our own Patreon channel because then we can do some additional things that we can't do right now. It's making could make the Discord channel unstable. You can only have so many rooms, and you guys are doing you're doing such great stuff, Muant.
Thanks, buddy.
We really needed to build it on in another place. So we're going to run both this month. And for those people who did join the new Psychic Nerds already, it's just under Psychic Nerds. We will have that new Discord running in a few days where you will have direct contact with all of the Psychic Nerds where these important things are discussed, links are shared, and you get up to the minute information. I can't even tell you how many things I found out about from being part of the Discord. I found out about Star Atlas from somebody on the Discord because they posted it. And then maybe somebody asked me a question. And then I got that sort of polka dot thing, when somebody or vet, it just runs over me like a train. So I'm doing all this crazy stuff now. I'm looking at my ETH stock. I'm counting my ETH. I'm figuring out how many Star Atlas I can get, and I'm figuring out how I can get it, but again, it's just because I'm part of this wonderful community and we all work together. I share my blabs with all of you, and you guys all share your research and information with each other, and I happen to be one of the folks that wanders through the Sam Jammer Discord, and I read the links. I have discussions with people, and you guys do the same over on Psychic Nerds. So I encourage people to take a close look at the new Psychic Nerds over on Patreon. Celebrate Muan's success with this idea. He was the one who started these impromptu Zoom meetups with a bunch of the Sam Jammers. So congratulations, Muant.
Thank you, buddy. And it's really all thanks to you for making a lot of us feel at home and safe to share, and being around other people interested in this wonderful thing, either woo or crypto, or both. And I can't thank you enough. I've been able to make so many wonderful connections in this kind of virtual place that I would never have been able to make in real life. We have people all over the world that are so wonderful and on this journey with us, and by themselves as well, in both those aspects, woo and crypto. And it's just been wonderful. It's been really enriching. And I can't thank you guys enough. Everyone here has really enhanced and added to my life. And I want to say thank you very, very much. I really mean that. I take the responsibility pretty seriously about being able to help people, point people away from things that I think could be harmful, try and give as good information as I can. And I think everyone up on the Psychic Nerds, and many or all, sorry, misspoke, up at the Sam's Patreon are doing the same. And that's just, it's great. It's really incredible, right? I didn't know I would have so many hundreds of very close friends, right? So it's great. It really feels like a home. So thank you. And thanks to everybody here. If you don't get the full show and you only get the sampler here, I wish you would get the full show. If you only get the sampler, I hope you enjoy it. We'll have some new cards placed inside this sampler, and it'll direct you over to the brand new Patreon if you'd like to join over there. So we'll do that, or I'll get that fixed up later today. Also, this is kind of a very special day, I think, for a lot of us. There's lots of changes in our personal lives, probably our crypto portfolios, and man, how we've all progressed in so many ways since we began. So I am offering a proof of participation badge. If you're on the show today, the requirements were that you showed your face, you were brave, and you like to share a little bit. And so just send me a direct message inside the Discord, and I will make sure you have a very unique link just for you. that you can claim your 50th anniversary show badge. And it's just a way to get used to using POAPs. POAP stands for Proof of Participation. People can make them on their own. Literally, it only takes a few minutes to make them. Maybe I'll make a video showing you how you can make your own for all sorts of things. I also want to offer this up to anybody that is currently a Psychic Nerds member. I'll send you a link and you can have a badge created. And we're going to, after this recording, we're going to have a little get together, a little party, a little after show hangout. And because some people just don't want to show their face or be recorded. And I totally understand that. And as you know, those people can also have access to in the celebration of the show. So enough about all that, I guess. We have some new guests here that I was waiting. I was waiting for a few of these people to be able to make time and fit into their schedules and be able to interact. So I'd kind of like to do that now. So I'm going to go with Stars first because it looks like she's unmuted. So that's Stars and Moon. She's a friend of a lot of ours up on Sam's Discord. How are you doing?
Doing good. Very excited to be here. I'm very grateful to be amongst such a psychic nerd.
Well, thank you very much for being here. Your audio is sounding a little choppy for me. I don't know if it's choppy for everybody else, but I think it'll be okay. I'm kind of curious how you found or how you stumbled into this woo world or the Discords or ran into Sam or I or crypto in general. Just kind of curious. What kind of drew you here?
Okay, 2018 is when I got into cryptos. I've been watching Sam since April 2019. And I decided to join the group not long after that. And since I joined, the Woo started. And it's been growing. And I'm so grateful because I found so many good friends in the Soul family and just so many amazing people.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it? A lot of us found a really sense of community, a nice sense of community the minute we kind of ran into each other, which is really, really great. And I'm glad to hear that you feel like your skills are increasing. I think it's happened to a lot of us. I think that's wonderful. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Category. I love your name.
Yes.
Same question to you. How did you find this cast of characters? What drew you here? Maybe when you started in crypto? Anything else you want to tell us about yourself?
Well, I've been in crypto since 2017, and I wrote it up, then watched it go down to almost nothing. It's kind of funny how I found Sam. I wanted to learn how to trade, and I got into this program out of the UK, Nicola Duke. And in order to join that, you had to go to Facebook, and I've never been on Facebook. While I was there was this link that came up and said, I might be interested in Sam. And I'm one of the original people, one of the original Sam Jammers. It's that knowing somehow, I just knew I had to be part of that. And I have a lot of winks throughout the course of my life. I just, sometimes I don't see it. Sometimes it smacks me in the forehead. It hurts. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you. And I just love that people have been, within these Sam's Discord now for so long, and we're gaining a lot of new friends over at the Psychic Nerds as well. So I'm so glad you're here. And just simply, have you benefited from being around a bunch of people like yourselves interested in the same topics that you are?
Oh, immensely. I highly recommend it.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Definitely.
Yeah, I paid her to say that. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I would.
What's the going rate, Moo?
Yeah, I was gonna say wait till you get my bill.
And
Dogecoin.
Yeah, we're starting to be expensive now. So can you afford it?
You want paying in Doge?
I guess I got to make more money if I want to hang out with you guys. Giselle, hi. Thanks for being here. We've tried to connect a few times up on this Psychic Nerds deal, and so glad you're here. Kind of curious about your experiences as well with the group, or what drew you here.
Well, I'm happy to be here. And so Spirit started talking to me back in 2011 and just saying, you know, the world is moving to a different money system. Everything is changing. You know, the whole world is going to this money system. And at that time, I had no idea what that meant. I was a little bit freaked out. They said, don't worry, it's going to take a long time, like, you know, a decade or something. So, you know, I thought, okay, fine. But at that time, I was a student medium and I was working as a mortgage broker. So I kind of knew a little bit about money. And fast forward to 2013, 2014, I started hearing about Bitcoin. And I asked Spirit at that point, you know, are you talking about Bitcoin? And they said, no, we're not talking about Bitcoin, but it's connected. It's sort of adjacent to Bitcoin. I thought, oh, that's really interesting. But, you know, it's still further down the line. So wait, and we'll give you more information. I thought, okay. So, you know, last year in 2020, that's when I really started to hear, and I learned about all these 8,000 different coins. And I thought, oh my God, this is it. And so I asked Spirit, you know, is this what you're talking about? This whole new framework, this whole new system? And they said, yes, this is it. This is the beginning. This is now when you get in. So I thought, okay, 8,000 coins. I know you're going to help me, but still, this is a lot of information. How do I get through all of them? How do I know which ones to pick? So I said, listen, you guys have to help me. So that's when you guys showed up in my YouTube feed. And I thought, oh, this is perfect. Not only was Sam a psychic medium, so I could see, you know, if she was getting the same impressions I was getting about different coins, but also I needed more because I like to know more about stuff before I invest. So it was great to have you along there with all of the technical stuff so I could, you know, get more information. And if I had deeper impressions, I could go and research and look at different things. So that was extremely helpful for me. And I'm very grateful for that, actually.
It's great. It's wonderful. That's really what we hope, is that people will be drawn here for very specific reasons and either want to help somebody, want to learn more, interact, you know, once again, just kind of share with people, learn from people, teach people on the same kind of journey. And it really doesn't matter if it's woo or crypto, right? I think a lot of these topics are very interesting, and we're interested in a lot of these topics. So that's wonderful. I'm glad you found a group of people that can help, and you've helped some too, though, haven't you? And I think so, which is great. I like how Rudy puts it, and I don't want to speak for him, but he's not here at the moment. I think he had to dip out for a meeting. So, oh no, did I say that? Anyway, I like how he puts it, that you don't have to know everything. You just have to know a little bit more than the person you're trying to help. And I think that is so cool. And it's so right on, that everybody has something to offer on really any topic we could bring up. So I think that's great. We're still within the 30-minute sampler, Crypto Spartan, I believe. So do you care if, would you like to go ahead and show some charts? Because I know people really, really like that and would love to get your perspective on where we're at. We're just having a wonderful week, and a lot of us think we're going to have a wonderful month.
Oh, I think it's going to be marvelous. Marvelous Crypto Spartan today. We'll go with that.
Yeah, marvelous Crypto
Spartan. Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't, you know, I've been looking at a lot of charts like I always do, and it keeps going up, 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 up. So, you know, one of the charts that I really, really liked a while back, like during the downturn, we were talking about this Solana, you know, back when it was down here in the 20s and 30s. I just really liked the way this, you know, when it was like this, it had a very shallow retracement. And what I know from charting is when you have a shallow retracement, you have a more likelihood to bust higher. So it didn't get below the 66% retracement. It consolidated here. And then we went boop, 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 boop. It's up to $1.40 now. So it's, it's the first one to really moon after our downturn from May. So
That'd
as
be
a
$140.
yeah, now it's $140. So some people that maybe took that advice, it's not financial advice, but I just thought it was going to be a good one. And now we're coming up here to this 152 level. I think it might rest there for a little bit. It's also an extension of the current move. But
As we're busting through these Fibonacci's, how can you get a sense of it? Does it have enough gas, or does it have enough juice to kind of break into the next quadrant there, or the next
well,
Fibonacci
you
level?
look,
Is there a way to tell?
you can tell that major players have stepped in to start buying this.
Oh yeah.
You have the volume down here. We're averaging double the volume we did before. So as long as the volume stays up, I believe it's going to keep continuing going higher. But but parabolic moves, these are difficult to they're difficult to trade. Well, I don't trade per se, but it's difficult to know. You just got to kind of look when the price is moving out. The other thing we used to do when things were going parabolic was look at the trend channels. Or the fib channel. So if we went like this,
Okay, it just kind of fans out from a point in time or price.
yeah. So we're getting. This is what happened to ADA back in January and February, where we were blowing through. The momentum was so great compared to where it was before. It's blowing through the chart. So this is just super strong. And when you have something this strong, it's going to continue for a while. Like the momentum, it'll take a while for the momentum to fall out of this chart. So I don't know where it's going, but I know it's going higher. If we delete this one, let's go back to a fib real quick. You can kind of draw them. We didn't have much of a pullback here, but this is the first resting point. So yeah, I think it's going to get to $1.80.
Wow, that's great. A lot of people will be happy to hear that. A lot of people were doing a lot of accumulation there when the market got smashed down in May. So good for you guys who picked this up.
So I think it's going to get up to so they're saying that this, I was reading, it's got a lot of the same features as Ethereum does. Well, it won't take its place, but it could operate in a different area. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, the backers behind it are pretty well known, and yeah, absolutely. And we could talk about the characters we kind of do all the time, but Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX Exchange, and a lot of notable powerhouses, hedge funds, other things are pretty interested in this. I would encourage people to go out and use it. You'll notice I like it. I am just full disclosure. I'm a Solana holder. I also bought my first gaming tokens on the Solana network, Star Atlas, in two flavors, the Atlas token and the Polis token. And I've been pretty satisfied. I use a wallet called Phantom. There's various wallets you could use. You can swap Solana right in that wallet for something like Polis or Atlas, and you can also stake your Solana right in the wallet, which is kind of nice. So,
oh, that's cool. Would you tell me a little? What's a staking rate there? Do you know?
That's funny because I just set it up recently, and it took about 6 hours for the validator to, it looks like there's an exception and creation process. So I have not really had it staking very long. Staking is something I just set up yesterday, and I had no way really of determining this specific validator the rate of return. So for me, it's just I'm just testing and playing, and I'll be sending some other Solana to a different validator later on this afternoon or later on this weekend to kind of gauge the differences. And there's a couple different websites out there. I won't get into them today, but you can go see your staking returns based upon the different validators.
Yeah, so I know it stakes at Kraken about 6.5.
Oh, great.
Kraken or Celsius. Can't remember which was which, but it's right around there.
So when you're up on Kraken, that's an actual stake. When you're on Celsius, that's just an interest-bearing account. Correct?
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay.
So this was posted in the Santino, if he's still around. I know he's lurking. Serum, is that part of the network?
Serum is the DEX for Solana. So I wasn't smart enough to get in Solana earlier. So I decided to play it with Serum, and I've been posting about this one. So if you like Solana, you should love Serum, because I mean that is what they that's their layer 2 solution for trading. It's behind the scenes. It's being backed by the same people that are backing FTX, which is going to become, in my opinion, the largest exchange probably on the planet. There's a lot of torque with this coin. Solana is where the retail market is going to go for the reasons that Moo just stated, because it's quicker, it's more cost effective, and the corporate large money or well-heeled investors that move around a lot of coin will use Ethereum. I mean, I'm being overly simplistic right now, but that seems to be the way things are going. So this is my bet on the Solana network, Serum.
Mm-hmm.
And
thanks for adding that. So that this is just something that people could take a look at. It's in a great uptrend. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just show something real quick here?
Sure.
Because I just want to give people the opportunity. Just give me 1 second. So up on DeFi Llama, which is a great DeFi dashboard, and we all know that DeFi is an all-encompassing thing dealing with insurance yield lending asset dexes. But DeFi Llama is great because we can take a look at these individual blockchains, right? So we can kind of just scroll down, we can see the total value locked, and if Solana is something you're interested in, you might be interested to see this increase over time. And we've already seen, look at this massive growth in total value locked. But Radium is a wonderful DEX on Solana. You can see the chain symbol there. Serum is a wonderful DEX. And, we might want to start charting these from a charting perspective because I believe both these are also blowing up as people are getting used to Solana, getting wallets, and starting to use this blockchain. That's really all I wanted to say. As you go to the overview and then select your individual blockchain here, you'll see all sorts of things here, all sorts of apps. So if you're a person that also wanted to get exposure to some of the DeFi things in Solana, this is a good way to kind of start wrapping your mind around it. You can also, for example, if we just wanted to look at DEXs, right? Now, this is not Solana specifically, but if you just kind of take a look and we just go down the list here, we'll see, okay, well, this one is Solana, okay, because there's the Solana symbol or Saber. This is a Solana DEX or Serum. This is a Solana DEX. That's it. I just kind of wanted to show that real quick. Hope people will find it helpful because a lot of people are very familiar with Ethereum and its ecosystem and what the tokens are, what they do. It's probably where most people have been living lately for the last few years. So to now have, some cool things on Solana or Cardano or you name it, a different blockchain, it's a really good resource to go get familiar with some of the other things going on.
And they're evolving. So Serum, for those of you that have been investing for a long time, you'll recognize the feel of how FTX, the platform, looks, and as well as Serum. You can set limit orders. It's not sketchy. When you're confirmed. Unilayer is the layer that's doing this for Uniswap, right? So, I would encourage people, if they're interested in this area, to look for those, use them, and look how they feel. And if you have traded in the past or moved a lot of assets back and forth, you will recognize that they're far superior to the sketchy kind of wallets and swaps that we have now, where you're basically trading into a black hole. You don't know what the hell's going on. And for you to place limit order, you can do it. There's ways to see the order books, but you need to be a technologist, a Moo or a human avatar to be able to do it. So these things are far slicker. You can see them evolving. You can see the way we're going.
I love that I got registered for FTX US the other day, and it literally just took me a few minutes, and I was able to bump it up to level 2 within just a few minutes. It was great. There was none of this wait forever, stuff, sending an email to a black hole, nobody gets back with it. I thought it was great. So they got that down pretty slick.
Yeah, and FTX bought I forgot who they bought, what the name of the company was, but to do leverage trading, and they should be the first US company to offer it. Not that I recommend it to anyone, but they're going to grow pretty quickly. FTX. I agree with you, Santino.
Yep. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to move on.
Yep.
Anything else?
Didn't FTX pick up Ledger somehow?
Ledger X, that was the company.
Ledger
They
X.
did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I believe Ledger X, for lack of a better word, I'm probably going to say this wrong, but they are fully licensed in derivatives trading in the United States. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So there we go.
So they bought their way into the market instead of trying to develop it.
Yep. Pretty amazing.
Is there any other way?
That's a quick way.
It's the fastest, correct?
Why develop it when you can just buy it?
Well, I'm sure it was good for both parties.
I'm being cheeky, of course. It's far better to develop it.
Well,
I think if you got the money, it's far better to buy
That's
it.
it depends. If it's going to take you 2 or 3 years to develop it, but you could get it up and trading in 6 months if you buy it. I don't know. If I was a shareholder, I'd rather buy it if it was reasonable, looking at the finances of it. But
It just goes to show you how, and we've talked about FTX, we've talked about Sam Bankman-Fried, we've talked about the other individuals and organizations around that whole thing, and it just shows you how smart they are. It shows you how seasoned they are, how integrated into legacy things that they truly are, and they have so many connections. Some of these other exchanges are fighting tooth and nail to get registered this way or that way, or a blockchain to get registered this way or that way. And boy, they're just making moves, man. Right?
Can you imagine having this conversation 3 years ago?
No.
When everybody thought crypto was going to be its own little world, and everybody, the banks were going to implode and the legacy was going to implode, and it's just going to be this crypto paradise. Can you imagine having this conversation 3 years ago with people? Mind you, we were having it on Sam's Discords,
Right.
but I wasn't hearing it anywhere else, right?
Absolutely, 100%. We all felt that the banks would eventually custody, and there'd be this wonderful top down and bottom up kind of thing between legacy and crypto, and I mean that's what we're seeing all over the place, and it's great.
Binance is bigger than Goldman's. It's bigger than on most of the U.S. banks. This is where we are now, folks. I mean, I made an off-the-cuff remark a few months ago saying that crypto would swallow the banks. It wouldn't be the other way around. And I was only half kidding. We will see that. They are already beginning to become much larger than just, I'm not talking central banks. That's government, it's sovereign banks. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Goldmans, the big American banks. These crypto exchanges are beginning to eclipse them at an alarming rate. They're going to swallow them.
Absolutely. We're seeing legacy, just as Sam explained so many years ago, the legacy world just wanting to capture some of this yield, right? I mean, we could look at just one sector like DeFi, and they are running as fast as they can to incorporate these things, to be buddied up with these things, to invest in these things. Man, there's lots of money for them to be made here. So gosh, some of these conversations are so interesting, right? Because I don't think a lot of this discussion was going on many places, except a few. So I'm glad we were a part of that. I'm glad we were able to point some of those things out to people, people participating in those discussions. And I truly mean this. You know, even if you got into crypto last week, I don't think you're too late. Like, you are right on time. You are absolutely right on time.
Yeah, still,
Um,
like, what if you bought Star Atlas like yesterday for like
exactly.
6 to 10 cents? I mean, what is it now? 14 cents already a day. I mean, you're excited. You know where this
Right.
is going. It's exciting times. But you know, I always felt that it would go to finance because that was the area that I worked in. And I know those people, they eat what they kill that day. And there was no way they were going to turn down this opportunity to have all this huge money flow into cryptos. You know, it's going to save so many pensions. It's going to, you know, people are going to be the first couple of years, what's going to draw more and more to it. Like right now, all of these people who are, you know, calling it down to the lowest, who are normally successful people. Well, one of them, he went he went long on gold, so he's been waiting a very long time for gold to be like $50,000, and it's like,
Sure.
it's not there yet, is it? I mean, it's okay to put your emergency fund in gold because it is worth more than it was worth, you know, 5 years ago. So it's not like putting it in the bank. But again, cryptos are, you know, they are investments on steroids if you pick the right ones. And more people are going to come. And I only saw in the news yesterday, the mainstream media was talking about how mortgages are going to be, you know, it's like mortgages are coming to the cryptocurrency
Yep.
industry. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I just have to wait a certain amount of time and then I can be making my real estate purchases using my and not get out of my cryptos. I mean, isn't that awesome?
It is awesome. Absolutely wonderful. We saw the piece of news, if anybody missed it, the United States' second largest mortgage company is now accepting Bitcoin and plan on accepting other cryptos in the future as they get a handle on it. I think that's great. And I cannot wait. I hope we can still see collateralized debt positions against mortgages, because that would allow people to go ahead and just leverage or put up a position on a mortgage without actually cashing out. And man, I think we're going to even have different flavors of that, aren't we, Sam? I bet we even see some regulation change around that, where it's just going to be a more accepted practice, right? People are going to be clamoring for that kind of thing.
Yeah. Asset-backed mortgages.
Yeah.
I think the Securities and Exchange Commission, they stay out of that. I see a lot of banking stuff is not securities related. It's only
Right.
when they get into the like, because they do mutual funds and stuff like that, but it's only that part of their business that is under the scrutiny of the Securities and Exchange Commission. You will find a lot of stuff that's being done on the blockchain. The SEC will just have to be like minding their business, and there won't be anything wrong for the CEO of those foundations if they get a call to be like, mind your business. This is mortgages. Since when do you get involved in mortgages? Just go over there and take care of those, you know, wrangle those criminals that used to work where you know, it's like they set stuff up, and they screw over different, we won't say any names, and then they go and they work somewhere else that's a competitor. Oh, I'm having a big problem with that. But anyways, like I said, you know, I see a lot of that stuff changing in the future, where things become more transparent on the blockchain. This is where everybody's going, and it will be a gradual transition. It's not going to be this, oh, you know, you better get your food and water stocked up. You're only going to be doing a lot of certain items just because of inflation. It doesn't have anything to do with not being able to get it. It has more to do with, you know, it doesn't cost you $3,200 for that heat pump anymore. It's now $7,300, you know. So that's what
Right.
I was, you know, it's a different thing. I think people have some different ideas
Yep.
about the way things are going to go down. Oh, you know what? I don't actually have any Matic, but I feel like that's, you know, when that's going to be going really well in the next run. What do you think, Crypto Spartan?
Yep. I just brought the Matic chart up. This is, you know, made a healthy base down here around the 200-day moving average. So on here, I've got a 20-day, a 50-day, and a 200-day. And you could look like this is a little flat, but it's like it's starting to turn up. if price gets higher above 180, I think we're going to be shooting back up to the all-time highs. I think Matic is dependent upon Ethereum, and as Ethereum just broke out, I think Matic's going to follow. You know, so Ethereum's definitely pulled out of this consolidation after having a big run up. What's very interesting is we had like all these green days in Ethereum, and we said, well, it can't go straight up forever. And a lot of the YouTube pundits were saying it was going to pull back. This is what you call a non-pullback, but just a consolidation. You know, so we consolidated instead of like right in here. So we had a consolidation range, but it didn't pull back. You know, so typically you'd get a retracement down to, you know, a 38% retracement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, typically you get a retracement down to here, like 2,700. And I think I had mentioned that one time on one of the nerds that I thought it could pull back to 2,800 to 2,700, which would be a typical pullback in an uptrend. But because it didn't pull back, just like when we talked about Solana had a shallower pullback than other cryptos in the same time period, that's why we're seeing such a launch off of this consolidation, because it couldn't pull back. So there's a lot of pent up buying. A lot of people wanted to buy in a pullback, but they're having to FOMO in, you know, above the 3,400 price. But back to, yeah, go ahead.
They were actually shorting that on the futures because there's Ether futures along with Bitcoin futures now. And I guess some traders have a death wish, you know, trying to short